Well, managed to get out today after weeks and weeks and weeks of torrential rain, hail, snow, rain again. And it's such a good feeling to be out. And we're off to the woods for a bit of a chill out, a brew and something to eat. So yeah, I've been waiting a while to do this actually. So we're just taking the shortcut again to avoid petrol fumes and the racket. Just got to go under this underpass, and on the other side is one woodland that we're not going to visit today. The other woodland that I've got planned to visit, there's a lot more deadfall there for fires, and to me personally it's a more beautiful wood. But we'll have a quick look at this bit anyway. I've had a few yomps and moochies around here in the past. It's a lovely woodland too. Right, so on with the walk. Right, so we're just coming towards the end of the path, and just sort of take a look at this tree. Very old, I'm not sure what tree it is, with lots of moss growing on it, and even some fern up there. Yeah, it still grows year after year. Sorry about the traffic noise. And there's another one there, again covered in moss. Just make out the river on the other side. So just going to come to the end of the path, down the hill, and then on to our woods. So I'll get back to you in a bit. And here we are. We've made it down to the down to one of the local woodland spots. Glorious day today. So lovely to come out in the winter when the sun's shining, and it's noticeably quiet down here, as you'd expect, apart from the odd vehicle coming past. And here's our first sign of spring. Some bulbs on the edge of the woodland have come up. What a joy! What a bloody joy! Right, onwards. Just a walk further up the path, and to my complete and utter surprise, we have a horse. We're just walking towards this horse. Quite possible that it could belong to some local gypsy travellers. There's a site quite close to here, and they might have took it out for a walk and for a graze. But yeah, it's amazing sometimes what you find with a walk out in the woods. Let's go a little bit nearer, see if it's friendly. It's tethered up, so good morning. Good morning, horse. Hope you're well. Yeah. I better go. It seems the horse seems fairly friendly. Hello. You okay? Hope you're enjoying the sunshine and outdoors as much as I am. And hope you have a good day, my equestrian friend. And I might see you on the way back. Right, let's go over this way. Back with you in a bit. Right, well, we've walked further into the woods, and there's an awful lot of young new saplings here between the older trees, and with there not being a great deal of funding about, perhaps these are going to need coppicing at some point. So might well have a word with the people who who have a group covering this place. See if they'll let us do some coppicing. It'd help the ecosystem of the woodland out, of course, and it'd also give us some wood for firewood and for making things with. But yeah, plenty of saplings all over the show, as you can see. Hundreds and hundreds. Right, onwards for a brew. Right, well, there's lots of birch fall here, so I'm gonna get some of the thin layer at the outer. Great for making fires with. Dry that out when I get the fire going in a few minutes. Now this is interesting to see. You know, silver birch start off with the silver coating, silver bark, as you can see, and as they get older, they end up with this this very sort of mottled bark. And this one's actually on the change, as you can see. You know, higher up there's traditional birch bark that we associate with fire lighting and for crafts, etc. As you can see lower down, the bark's actually disappearing. So this tree's in a state of transition, on its way towards becoming a mature birch. Right, let's go and find a decent spot for a brew in a day camp. Right, so we've just walked across this field, and over there, that's where we've done a one night there, and we've had a couple of day camps. So we're quite familiar with that little bit of the woodland, really. So we're going to try somewhere different today. Again, a lovely day, and this bit of woodland across the way from the field is looking very inviting indeed. There's plenty of wind falling here, and some secluded spots further up where I can get my little fire going and get some brekkie on and a brew. Right, so we've moved further into the woods, and as you can see, there's a lot of spent organic matter from the woodland plants from 2017, and in the winter it's sort of bare bones time, and you can see a little bit how forestry ecosystems work. So all this spent organic matter from last year is now forming a mulch on the surface of the ground. And it's going to add nutrients, of course, and then by the time the forest is fully up and running, May, June, all this mulch will be rotted down and there'll be new plants coming up. So wonderful to see. Right, so I'm going to carry on. I think I'm close to finding a brew spot. There's an area over here with a large fallen tree, and it's off the path, which is good, because I probably don't have permission to come here for a brew, but you get such a lot of sanity out of it, and you know, you have a good time. So I will always come to woodlands, whether they're private or not, as I've got issues with the ownership of nature by human beings. So yeah, this is looking like a good spot for a little fire. Got somewhere to sit there as well. Yeah, this is the spot. Right, well, just setting a little day camp up here. This fallen tree, quite a long one, about 30 foot long. I've actually decided to have have my little cooking fire down here at the root of the tree. So if there is any dog walkers coming past, like the one that passed a few minutes ago, the fire will be obscured from them. It'll also keep me warm as well, because all the heat is going to stay here. It'll bounce back off the root ball. So yeah, time to get a brew on and something to eat. Bring you back in a bit. And there's our flame there. Good old trusty ferro rods. Right, time for a brew. Right, so all's going well. We've got our raised platform fire on there with a little kettle full of water for a brew, and an assortment of veggie sausage for dinner. So all's good. Nobody about again on this beautiful day. Can't believe there isn't more people out for a walk. It's probably the best day we've had this winter. Absolutely beautiful. And what an amazing place to come out for a walk. Right, time for a much needed brew. Getting a bit thirsty after the walk down here, so I'll catch back up with you in a bit. Okay, kettle's boiled, time for a brew, and just move the veggie sausages over, let them cook slowly. All's good. Sun's come back up again. Right, so time to chill. Right, so we're close to dinner here. We've got our 4 assorted veggie sausage, and I've just banged some bread on that I made yesterday at home. Fire's gone down to embers, which is what we wanted. Brew over there. Who could ask for more? Right, so I've had my dinner, and here's where the fire was. I'm going to leave those 4 pieces of wood there to use again if I use this spot. But yeah, leave no trace. Once I'm gone, nobody will be able to tell that I've even been here. So we had a nice brew, chill, time to have a good think, and we had a lovely veggie sausage on toast with some tomato and brown sauce. So we're going to make a move now. Going to have a bit more of a mooch around the woods, and then make my way back home. So ready to go. Catch up with you again in a minute. Across this here, a couple of yards from where I set up camp. Somebody's had a lazy fire here. Now, one of the things, if people want to keep using this, whether it's by stealth or with permission, if you leave bricks around like this, somebody's going to know that you've been here. So you're much better doing the old bushcraft thing of leave no trace. And also, you know, it looks a lot better. You don't want to see a load of bloody bricks in the middle of a woodland. Right, onwards. Here we are, back out into the field. Going to make our way over to to one of the wild camping spots that we've had over here. It's a good cut through to get back on the main road. With it being midday, the sun's on full beam. Don't want to shine too high. Let's have a look. You see this area here where the rain's naturally pooled. There's another one over there. and it's quite a sort of marshland type terrain here. There's lots of plants here to suggest, lots of water loving plants. To suggest that, as I mentioned in my previous video, perhaps it is trying to return to being something of a prehistoric woodland. It's where the on the other side of the field now, where the woodland starts getting dense again. And I look at these amazing growths. This tree here has been battered to death by wind and storms, and all the new shoots, as you can see, coming out along the branches. Again, just goes to show the resilience of Mother Nature. Right, so here's our opening to cut through. And I'll come back to you in a few minutes. I don't want to film me falling over and getting covered in mud. So I'll come back to you in a minute or so. Right, so we're back inside the woods on the other side where we've had our previous stealth camps. And interesting bit of ecosystem this. This was formerly a gravel pit, and aside from the weather and the winds that we've had, some of these trees have been unable to throw roots down, or to throw them down at any sort of depth. And I think this is one of the reasons that when the winds do come, that a lot of the trees that are unable to anchor properly under the subsoil are not able to. Perhaps because there's a layer of gravel or granite lower down, I don't know. But it was formerly a gravel pit, this. And look at this little prehistoric swamp. This has come on some since I last visited. I know there's a few shy birds over there having a drink on the banks that have flown off. Obviously because of the sound of my large boots clumping through the bracken. There's another large windfall again. I don't know if you can see from here, folks, but again there's not a very deep root system on this particular tree, making it vulnerable to a lot of the nasty climate change weather that we've been having. But a very waterlogged area around here indeed. There's water everywhere. Right, so we're going to go down the steep embankment and back out towards the road, so we'll come back in a minute or so. Right, so we're coming out of the woods here on a different path. We've basically done a big circle, and here's our horse again. Not the sort of thing you expect to find when you go for a walk in a fairly urban woodland. Look at this lovely horse here. Like I say, it quite possibly belongs to some gypsy travellers. The site's probably only about a quarter of a mile away from here. But what a fine creature, aren't you? Yeah. It's just grazing around in this this area here that's getting a lot of sun, so it's probably quite warm. I won't get too close. We'll just go and say hello again before we leave the woods. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, what a lovely horse. He's showing us your teeth there. Oh. Right, well, hope you have a good day, horsey. And when I'm up these parts again, we'll have a little chat and a catch up. So onwards towards the main road. Well, the not so main road. It's not a particularly busy road. And again here, more signs of lots of marsh grass and things you'd expect to see growing in wet wooded areas. Now the reason I've chosen to come down this rather muddy path is the last time I came down here I disturbed a large heron, and my camera was packed away, so I didn't really have a chance to snap it. So you never know, could be here today, might not be. Still an interesting walk down this way all the same. I don't fall over on my backside. It's getting a bit brighter down this neck of the woods as well, which is good. No heron today. Here's a little pond where he or she flew away from the last time I visited this site. Right, time to soldier on. Right, well, we're almost at the road and back to snivelisation. You can probably hear vehicles in the background. And again, it's very boggy down here, so we're going to cut through this edge of the woodland here to get to the road. And just like to thank everybody for watching. And hope everybody's feeling well in this rather dark winter. If you're not feeling very good, then get outdoors, come to somewhere like this. Even if you are feeling good, just come out and get into nature. What's not to like about this? This is beautiful. Right, so see you all soon.